Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, we don't have a job to do.
Oh, thank God.
KZ Excellent. And Mr. Feel.
It took two.
Here on GigaBoots.
Bob,
What's up?
you ever play Nier Automata?
Yeah.
You ever seen Steven Universe?
Yeah.
You ever play Untitled?
Yeah, I did that.
That's all the questions I was going to ask. My section of this intro is over.
I love quizzes.
I'm not talking about anything. Actually, you know what? I will talk about one thing. Story of Seasons Pioneers of All of Town is unbelievably better than I thought it would be. I assumed it was going to be very similar to the prior Story of Seasons game, formerly known as Harvest Moon. If you're interested in this game, and you should be, do not buy it on the Switch.
We're going through our flow chart, I see.
It is.
Yeah.
Dude. We constantly go.
I know. I'm just saying.
You fucking know. Don't sit there and pretend that you think this is an acceptable state for a video
I'm not
game.
pretending. I was just saying the flow chart.
KZ's like, somebody stumbles in drunk, and Dan's like, oh, you're an alcoholic. And KZ's like, oh, here we go down the flow chart again.
Well, I'm sorry, but he has too many alcoholics running down here.
This game literally will freeze entirely a lot.
Yeah, it's really funny.
On the Switch. It is dire. I hear on PC it runs great.
Great.
I hope it makes its way to PlayStation soon. I'm something like 17 or 18 hours into my playthrough, and I don't want to switch to PC, but I really should. Even with this nightmare Switch situation, it's still a really, really enjoyable game. It's so good. They've taken the Story of Seasons Harvest Moon experience and really made it something where you feel less like you're screwing up because there are multiple different valid ways to go. Like you can either invest more time into your crops or invest more time into lawn care, which will level up your experience in a certain way, which will make your stamina better, or you can do all these other things. They broadened it and made each aspect of it more valid, and they've also streamlined so much of it. It is an unbelievably good farming game. If you have ever remotely liked one, check out Story of Seasons Pioneers of All Town or SOS Poot. That's really it for me this week, other than, man, the Ascent still isn't fixed. It's like 6 months after launch, and that thing's pause screen is breaking, and boss battles forget to spawn enemies, so they trap me.
That sounds intense.
It is. When I announced that I was playing The Ascent for Game of the Year, so someone was like, oh, cool, yeah, that game really needed some patches at launch. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it did. And then I played it, I'm like, it still does. Okay, great, awesome.
Moving on.
Yeah, I gave it about 5-6 hours of my time, which was half of the game. And it has problems. It has problems like, you'll go 3 hours of the game fighting humanoid enemies, and then they'll throw some mech enemies at you that are still easy to deal with a machine gun, like the humans were, or even a shotgun like the humans were. And then they throw the boss at you that's unbelievably powerful and mechanoid based, where your gun won't do shit. So you don't have an upgraded gun because you can't upgrade them in the field. You don't get to put points into that. For anyone who's wondering, this is a twin stick shooter that's like an action RPG. So you have skills and traits and things and equipment and upgrade systems and shit.
Yeah, that's still surprising. So the trailers did not make me think of the action RPG like at all.
There was enough in the trailers that made me realize the world was going to, like, it was a twin stick shooter, but they were going to have an actual village with all these shops and stuff. I didn't know quite how deep it was going to go. I'm pretty happy with how the world's developed, and honestly, it's one of the most gorgeous games I've seen on a Series X. It's really impressive. But man, they did not, like, it is not a smooth difficulty curve, and they don't really prep you for some of the things in it. And it's glitchy, like the entire pause screen became red macro blocking, corrupted looking BS. It's a real shame. That game may have shipped too early. I don't know though yet. We'll find out later this month. Hey, Bob, did you play anything you want to talk about on this?
Yeah, sure. I played a few things.
Okay.
I went all the way through Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Cool.
Probably shouldn't have done that.
Oh, why? Okay. What's wrong?
It's weird because it basically is like structured like an Uncharted game. You walk down hallways as people talk to each other, but it feels like Uncharted 1 or worse was how much they will. If you walk too fast, we're cutting off the dialogue. And that's happening every second of this game.
That happened to me in Far Cry 6, but I was in a chopper and they didn't expect that every time.
Yes.
But yeah, these levels are designed in a way where you have one way to walk through them, and it's like, do you want me to just stop every couple feet? Because they will get cut off at points you would never expect. Like, oh, well, at this point they have to start saying this dialogue, so they'll just immediately cut off this other thing.
Right. It's like an innocuous point you pass by that you don't realize it's there.
Right. I don't
makes
think
them stop saying one thing.
It doesn't look like anything special there
Right.
would start a conversation, but it does.
Yeah. It's I ran through a couple games like that in the last month in prep for certain things.
And this has the most boring combat I maybe have ever played.
I actually know nothing about this combat at all.
Yeah.
So how would you describe it?
It's kind of like a third-person shooter.
Okay.
Because you aim with your right stick and you lock onto the enemy with the L2, and then you're kind of stuck lock onto them, and you hold R2 to shoot.
Okay, so when you hold L2, it's just locked onto them?
Yeah, and they can break out. They can break out of the lock on, so you have to do it again.
Okay, so
But other than that, it's just the only other way you interact is you hold L1, and then each Guardian has their own skills they can do.
is this like a striker situation?
Yeah, like you'll hit the button and they'll pop out and do like Gormora does her sword move or Rocket throws a grenade or something like that.
Yeah, they fight guys on their own, but you can also call them as strikers, and they'll just teleport to you and do it.
Yeah, they just teleport in. Every single animation is so hilariously bad. Like you have melee button too, and they'll be like, "Oh, you did a cool melee kill. The guy's on the ground. I'm punching midair."
Yeah, I know, it's great.
And everything just shakes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm imagining the Gears of War camera shake.
Every dynamic you finish the fight looks wrong, and it made me like the game more.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks.
what are you doing?
It looks intensely bad. It's like, how did you ship like this? And
Well, they're like, we don't care.
every single
like-
enemy takes out twice as many bullets as it needs to, too.
Yes, I'm gonna admit I liked this game. I did go into the very granular difficulty settings and be like, Star-Lord damage dealt to max? Okay.
I did that after I played for 8 hours and it was only getting worse. And I was like, I maxed out and it still takes too long. It's still like, what were you thinking? You just made the game longer by making everything take way too much damage.
Yeah, I didn't get this vibe at all. I'd never changed a single setting. I just played on normal.
Yeah, and every single world feels like it goes on probably twice as long as I want it to, because they feel like they're done talking about new things and having new experiences halfway through, and it's just like, okay, I'm really going through the paces here. So yeah, I felt like this game is way too long, and just the combat's so sleep-inducing. I went through it because I got hooked on wanting to finish out the story and hoping they'd do something interesting, and basically nothing interesting ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you guys watch the Guardians movies?
No.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did, but I haven't played the game, so
Right.
I don't know anything about.
This feels like another situation of here we are with Square Enix releasing our game that's based on a Marvel IP, and we've made our characters way too much or too derivative of the movies. Like nothing really is in this that makes me feel like, oh yeah, this is a really unique version of Gormora or of Rocket.
Yeah, so you're saying, you know, because they do a lot of Spider-Mans and some of them feel more distinct. Like, you know, the Insomniac Spider-Man is nothing like the movie ones.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Right.
Whereas this feels very much like this is the characters from the Guardians movie, which maybe that's has just every comic book with them is identical, but I feel like not the case.
Yeah. Well, Rocket is just Rocket in everything. That there's like no sway at all. Same for Groot.
You know,
Like,
when you get the
with
perfect recipe.
I was gonna say with Rocket, the only difference is they made him way worse in this. Like
Okay,
he's
how?
literally just that's when Rocket's annoying in others or in the movies. He does that for 80% more of the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just because in the movies it takes him like 2 hours for each movie to go through his arc and become like a better person. In this, it takes him 8 to 10.
Yeah, based on like osmosis through those movies, I get the vibe that
Star Lord and Gamora are supposed to be an item, and that's like not in this game at all.
Yeah, but they're still the same people though. Like there's nothing. They're not in a relationship in this, but they're very much the same characters. So there's difference lore-wise for the universe for sure. Like this is Thanos is dealt with in a completely different way. He's not even in this game. But yeah, these people feel very much like we're the CW or the bargain bin version of the movie characters.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure if that's like a problem.
Yeah,
with
maybe
the
I'll think
game
that if I
itself.
watch the movies, but like I've read Guardians of the Galaxy comics. I'm like, yeah, this mostly tracks.
I think the more interesting part brought up is like how much do different versions of the Guardians of the Galaxies differentiate? Because Spider-Man differentiates that much. We have that many different versions of Spider-Man because there are that many different versions of Spider-Man in the comics even.
Right.
I figure Guardians is not blessed like that.
No, it's not. Like this is all very like Drax in those movies. As far as I know, is just like the Drax in the comic, who's like kind of a goofy big guy, and then this is more or less the same. Like at least this game had Adam Warlock, who hasn't been in any MCU thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up, and they're like, he's gonna be in 3.
He's going to be in Guardians 3?
They also had Blue Ellie.
Oh, shit. Awesome. Yeah, I'm always interested in weird pulls in Marvel games.
Yeah.
I really like Adam Warlock. That might be the most 80s guy I've ever seen.
I mean,
70s, but yeah.
Listen to his fucking name.
I know, but I look at this all gold dude with a mullet and go, holy shit.
I think Mantis is the only one that's like, this is a really different take on her.
Oh, is she in the second
She's
movie?
in the second movie,
God
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, the second movie's really good.
I haven't seen the second movie for anyone who's...
But yeah, in the movies, she's a psychic.
Uh-huh.
In that they do a lot of fun stuff with that. In this, she's a psychic and also sees all dimensions at once.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, she's like she sees all parallel timelines at once and like has to sort them out.
okay.
Yeah, so they do some pretty neat stuff with that. I was like, that was neat.
Okay.
The only other thing I have to say about it, oh my god, the acting for most of this is absolutely fine, pretty good. Where'd they find this guy for young Star-Lord?
Okay, I didn't want to say that, but
I thought he was like computer generated at points.
you mean like the 14-year-old one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Where
I'm
he's
with
like,
you.
Mother,
Okay.
I need to go to the movies.
Okay, I didn't notice this at all. But when a child is on screen saying things, I'm like, oh, it's a child actor. It's gonna be bad.
What's
It's
funny?
not a child. There's no way.
What's
He
funny?
sounds like a 30-year-old man being monotone.
No, what's killing me, Bob, is I remember literally no bad part of their lines except for that movies one. But that one was especially like, what's going on?
I was like, this doesn't seem real because the rest of the acting, like I said, fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed the acting in this game quite a bit. So anytime it's that, it's like,
And he's
What?
he's a conversation with his mother who is acting like a normal human.
yes.
That's so
and they have really good like facial like animations and acting in this. So someone just being terrible.
There's that thing with adults who are completely fucking insane, where they're just like, yeah, children are all weirdly monotone. Like they don't know what a child acts like when they write shit. And I just think of that. Like there was that one argument I had with Eric where he was just like, I was like, man, Ness sounds weird. And he goes, what do you mean? Ness sounds like a kid. And I'm like, with Black Lung, maybe, where Ness just goes, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I need to see clips. I need to see clips of this. How early do I get that cutscene, Bob?
It's pretty early.
Oh, thank God.
The game. I'm pretty sure the game opens with like a flashback thing where he talks.
Yeah.
And he's
That one specifically is a little bit farther in.
Yeah, because you don't get it doesn't get super bad till the second time you do it, which is several hours in, but that first one is pretty bad.
Jeez, I was hoping it would just open with, Mother, I would like to go to the theater.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, no, but the game does open with one.
Okay, that's good. At least I get some of that out of it. Is there anything else you played, Bob?
I also went to the Guilty Gear Strive story mode.
Oh, cool.
How is that?
It's a movie.
You've been watching anime, huh?
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours and 20 minutes of stuff you can watch.
Cool. Are you glad you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's cool to see them try and do their own like Guilty Gear anime.
Huh.
Sometimes the animation is so bad that it's like, just make a visual novel. What's wrong with you?
Oh, no.
I'm like, okay, 5 Nights walk into the room. I didn't need to see that. That does not look good. Why would you show me that? Just write it out, please. The intro to it's pretty neat as we build up lore. The ending is crazy and fun. The middle part's like, why is this taking so long? It doesn't have much. Also, it does not have that many characters in the story mode. It's kind of insane. It makes me very upset about Season Pass 1 because the characters in Season Pass 1 have more involvement in the story than anyone else in the game.
I knew it. It was going to be that dude who wears no shoes and the big guy.
Yeah, the Happy Chaos is the main villain of this story mode.
I did not guess that. I assumed it was going to be that man.
Yeah, that man is there. I'm sure he'll be DLC eventually. He's a big part of the story mode. Still not playable in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, a ton of characters are just, here's a picture of them over the credits. It's like,
Why would you do that?
I thought
I'm
you were
just
gonna
upset.
say. I thought you were gonna say there's a picture of them on a monitor, like when they fucking put Natalie Portman in Avengers.
Oh my god. My god.
But yeah, it's really frustrating. That's both characters that aren't in the game yet, as well as characters that are playable in the game and not featured in the story mode at all.
Okay.
It's just
What does Kai do? Nothing.
no, Kai does stuff.
Oh, okay.
Good for him.
But yeah, it's
You know, as Kai says, live, laugh, love.
yes, it's his thing, right?
Salad breadsticks.
But yeah, it's a neat thing. It really does make me be like, man, this first season pass should have been free. Because oh my god, what do you mean this game is about these characters? Like, oh my god, Jacko, Happy Chaos are two of the biggest characters in the story mode, and they weren't playable. You want me to pay extra?
Yeah, that's completely insane.
That feels dirty. Yeah,
That feels like we're selling some Transformers for kids shit. You watch the cartoon, now go buy the toy. Yes.
Yeah, I could feel this a decent bit. I got that vibe immediately of, oh no, this game did kind of come in hot.
oh yeah, there. It still doesn't have the whole tutorial mode in it.
Yeah, when they literally said COVID set us back and we straight up have things we wanted to put in that will come out in a year, like modes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rough.
But this was still kind of neat. I do suggest watching it if you like Guilty Gear stuff. It goes pretty insane.
I tried watching lore videos of Guilty Gear and I'm like, holy shit, guys.
Yeah.
Also, this whole thing wouldn't happen if you guys voted for Chip. What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, I forgot he's like the leader of a nation or something, right?
Yeah, he is, but he was also running to be the president of the United States in one of the games.
Yep.
And he's like, I just did all this meth. Now elect me.
Yes.
You know, I feel for him despite me hating him.
He's a great guy. The president we got in this game, he's okay. He's not Chip the Noof, though.
Oh, okay.
We should just hire, what was it, Gold Dick Lewinson?
Gold Dick Lewinson.
Yep, we should just elect him to president. Strong Texan energy there.
But that's it for what I played. I really shouldn't have used my Game of the Year prep time going through Guardians, a game that will absolutely not show up on my top 10 list.
Hey, that's the thing, though. There are categories.
There are, but
And now you're knowledgeable for them.
that's true.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Look, I balanced both, right? I'm doing a pretty good job of that. And at the end, just dive bombing pioneers of all of town to figure out where it is on my list, because holy shit. KZ, did you play anything you want to talk about on Big Think?
Let me think of things that I have not put in any lists. because those are the ones I would speak on. I played a very small chunk of Psychonauts 2. That game opens with a lot of teeth stuff, and it made me nervous.
Yeah, it's very much tonally like Invader Zimmy.
Yes. Like there's the thing where it's like you use your like kinesis to move things. So like here's a zipper of rows of teeth that make a door.
Ugh.
And you start hearing them make a crunch noise as it opens them up, and I'm like, I really don't like this.
That is not indicative, luckily.
Okay, good. The game gives you a content warning at the start, and it's like, if you have problems with vomit, dentistry,
We're good so far. Keep going.
and it's like a couple other things. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this game controls fine, and everything seems pretty solid on it. I didn't play much of the first one. I think everyone in Psychonauts looks really stupid, and I don't think I'll keep up with it at all. But I'm happy for the people that are fans of it. It's just something where I'm like, this aesthetic isn't really working for me at all. So it's just not. I can't really work with it. But I at least wanted to play it and like feel it. And I'm like, this feels really solid for like a 3D platformer, like responsive and everything. So
Bob,
What's up?
as a guess,
Okay.
do you think you would have had a better time with Psychonauts 2? Did Guardians have teeth stuff?
Guardians didn't have teeth stuff. I assume I would. Wait, he does have the thing where he picks something out of his teeth.
Yeah, at the start of the game when Star-Lord like looks at the mirror and then he starts picking at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But
that's
yeah, I'm almost certain I would have enjoyed Psychonauts 2 more than I enjoyed Guardians.
Yeah, almost certainly. I can say that as someone who beat both.
I'm curious.
Aside from that, I played 2 games for a very short amount of time. The Ascent, I played a little bit of that. I don't know if I'm just not big into twin stick shooters. It just kind of felt a little awkward to play for me personally, where like getting the right stick primed up for certain enemies and stuff. Visually, it does look absolutely incredible. Like the stuff they do with lighting in that game looks really, really impressive.
Yeah, if they posted a still of that game, being like, yeah, this is how our game looks, I would have called bullshit on it.
Yeah, it looks like a video game bullshot the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty weird.
Is this a game on Unreal? I'm curious.
No, I think this is a custom engine they're rolling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's technically very impressive.
Yeah,
And it has a small team too, if I remember correctly, so it's kind of flooring.
Yeah, just the fact that it's like overhead, there's these giant fans that are like in between lights, so you're just seeing like everything that they do with lighting here just seems like really next level.
Okay, so I'm wrong on half, right on the other. It is a small team. It's 12 people.
Okay.
So that's nuts that it looks that good and it's made by 12 people. However, it is made on Unreal Engine 4. They do some shit here that's just incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's... I don't even know how to express it, man. It just... The lighting and everything looks so good.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing I played that's not going to hit any of my categories, I played a record of Lodos War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth.
Oh shit, he said the full title.
Yeah.
Give this man an award.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that. Yeah, that immediately doesn't feel as good as the Toho one they did. And I don't know what it is about. I think it's like a combination of me knowing nothing about the thing they're adapting into this game, and some parts of it not feeling as good to me. They kind of just made me lose interest a lot faster, despite me liking this type of game a lot.
Oh my god.
I'm also not a super big fan of the bow.
I forgot I beat this game. God, how many fucking games have I beaten?
Yeah, you did in fact beat that. I remember walking in and watching you do it. Like they started, I'm early in the game. They're like, "Here's this bow puzzle." And I'm like, "I really don't care." They're like, "You can bounce this off." I'm like, "You're already kind of losing me just a little bit."
I thought it was kind of neat because they involved magnets eventually and walls that you can perfectly bounce off of. I thought the bow puzzles were neat,
as far as things
those
in that
were
game,
like
I was like, this is
totally
some of the better
standard
stuff.
Metroidvania puzzles.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't hit for me, but you know. It happens. Also, this game doesn't even have Cyrano in it, so really, what's the point? I'm sorry. It's a big miss.
From Record of Lodoss.
Eventually, they have to make the crossover.
Dude, that would be so great.
Honestly, if this game would be better if they didn't have to set it within the timeline of Record of Lodoss War.
Yeah, I got that feeling.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
or if they just let them rewrite original Lodoss War and have Deedlit do things.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
that would have been cool. As someone who only has very cursory knowledge of Record of Lodoss War, it is clear that this game is set at the worst time possible.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm sure this is fine. There's just, as we were losing time, I went, this is not really hitting in the way their last one did for me, like immediately from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I heard
The
about
last one's definitely better.
Yeah, and after people were like, the bosses are a step down, I'm like, damn it, that's like the best part. Hearing that was enough to make me go, I just wanted at least a feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those were the games that I played that I'm not doing anything in GOTY for. So that's it for me.
God.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to remember all the games I beat.
Yeah, you've alluded to a ton of things.
For people
You did
who
Death's Door.
The reason why I went mostly silent on every front is because I basically have been in a death stream that no one's watching since last Thursday.
Yeah, it's really funny.
But yeah, I beat Death's Door, I beat Deedlit, I beat Cyber Shadow, I beat Unsighted. God, I think there's one more in here that I'm missing and I can't remember what. Anyway, Hayfield.
Oh.
What have you been playing?
I've tried a couple things on Game Pass.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Kana. There we go. Continue.
Yeah.
One, and these of course are things that I will not be discussing in any length during Game of the Year. I tried this thing called Dandy Ace that is like, what if Hades was bad?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Okay, first of all, it's exactly like Hades. It's like an isometric action roguelike.
Okay.
It's structured the exact same way. Like right down to you get to pick which upgrade you get at things. Now imagine it's like tweened sprites instead of like a model.
Oh.
They didn't record enough lines for like the narrator type thing. And it has one area.
Oh my god.
This is early access or something, right?
No.
Oh no.
Come on. Hades did 100 hours of voice acting or some shit.
That's rough.
Like it has some fucking stupid plot, like you're the super awesome magician Dandy Ace and your rival traps you in like the puzzle box or what the fuck ever.
You're the space dandy.
And it's just really shoddy. Like I don't have any like enlightening thing to say about it. It's like do you want to try a really transparently pathetic copy of Hades? And if you have Game Pass, you can.
Whoa.
Isn't Hades also on Game Pass?
Yes.
I think, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it is.
And another one I tried is this game called Dodgeball Academia.
Oh, I was interested in that. How is that?
Bad.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go now. Bye.
Oh well.
I'm glad someone else was able to brave the mines.
Firstly, have y'all heard of Gumball?
Yes. Gumball's very good.
fucking-
Why's Cartoon
'cause
Network
the
keep coming up?
Because the devs of this sure fucking have.
Oh, that's good for them. I find this completely random to bring up.
This is hard to explain. Like, this is one of those indie games where it's like, we didn't understand why people liked Scott Pilgrim.
Oh.
So it's like, we're going to make weird fourth wall breaky references to things and also be really bad. This is like a fusion. This is bizarrely is a Pokemon game where instead of Pokemon battles, you play dodgeball. Yes. Yeah. Like you get party members who can have held items and they level up And there are like this version of dungeons has like guys who, if they see you, will run up and challenge you to a dodgeball match, exactly like Pokemon.
What?
I couldn't have predicted this.
I think the worst thing this game does is like 25% in, it just becomes a lot worse for no reason. Because this game is separated into like chapters where you go on your Pokemon-esque RPG adventures at your Magic Dodgeball school. And for like the first 2 chapters, 2 or even maybe 3, I forget. Like one of your sidekick characters is like, yeah, the infirmary is closed, but I'll just restore all our health after every match. Then the infirmary opens, and they stop doing that.
Oh.
So the game becomes yeah, now you have to run back to the infirmary basically after every match.
Oh man.
Because this uses an RP. This uses that you have like HP that doesn't recover. So,
Right. Yeah.
So,
But there's nothing to stop you from going back every time. So it literally is just
not really. Yeah, not really. Not yet, at least.
They literally
Wow.
just halfway through decided to do that thing that a game would do fundamentally to pad out the playtime.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some.
It also doesn't feel good to play.
Okay, that's kind of important for a dodgeball game.
I feel like I was playing this with my best friend Cornbread Pockets. He was here. We were just checking out games on Game Pass.
Cool.
And my strategy was the unmoving fortress,
Okay.
where I didn't even touch the left stick because you have so much spread. You have so much leniency on catching balls. It's just like, why would I ever move?
Huh.
It's like this. It feels more basic than like Super Dodgeball for the NES.
Huh.
Cause like what you're doing and the momentum you have when you throw affects fuck all. So you can throw the ball, you can catch the ball, you have like a dodge roll, you have a super move that you can do like a Dragon Ball Fighters-esque energy charge to fill the bar faster.
Mm-hmm.
And you can charge your throw, but charging the throw doesn't make it do more damage. It puts like a status effect on them that is usually a dot. So it's like, this doesn't feel good. And I'm looking at YouTube footage for the part of the game I didn't play. It doesn't seem like you get any more mechanics from where I quit. It's just like, we made a really padded game that doesn't look that great. Like there's a lot of, like, you made the most horrible looking NPCs for your generics I've ever seen. Where it's like, I don't want to hang out in your game world full of people who look like this.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What's wrong with their eyes?
One moment, you posted it? Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah,
I see the gumball now. Jesus.
Oh yeah, no, it's very obviously Gumball.
And like, there are named characters, and I assume you're gonna like recruit them all to your party, but it's like, who cares? Like, they leaned into the RPG shit too much, where there's like healers, and I'm like, what are you doing?
So, okay, quick question. I'm looking at this dodgeball court. The dodgeball court's only 2v2?
Oh, those aren't real.
Oh, okay.
Those are just in the game world.
Gotcha.
When you play someone, you get teleported to the random encounter dimension, and it's 3-on-3.
Okay.
And in some matches, if you eliminate someone, they get to go behind the other team. Which is another thing they didn't do right, because now you're punished for dodging. You should never actually try to dodge anything in this game. You should only catch the ball.
Okay.
Because if you dodge it, the person behind you will just catch it and throw it right at the back of your head instantly.
Right. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I was really excited for this.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It relies really heavily on like patty RPG fetch quest type shit.
Sorry, this is funny because of what I'm gonna bring whenever you're done with this game.
Oh no.
It also has like really weird things where it's like, okay, here's a side quest where you have to beat this guy who says he's super strong but actually has 1 HP. And he's like, well, tomorrow I'll be stronger. So you come back the next day. He's like, what? And he's like, and you start the fight with him. And he's like, okay, he has a couple levels and has real HP now. So I guess he'll just like become more powerful each day and eventually become actually challenging at the end. Then I get hit by him and it takes 90% of my health. And I'm like, you didn't prepare me for this at all or give me any kind of sign this is what was going to happen. I still won because catching is so easy in this, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It really feels like they just had no idea about anything when they made this. And there's just some stuff that's just dumb. Like it's you don't run in this game, you roll. Your character, there's no setup for this or like reason that you roll instead of running. They just thought it would be quirky, I guess.
Like on the world
You're
map?
talking on the world map?
Yeah, on the world map. Like you don't run, you like curl into a ball, and if you mash the button, you roll faster.
Okay.
But there's not like a setup for it or anything.
Huh. Okay.
It's weird.
Like it's not great.
That's okay.
Trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about.
I can stall because I remembered a thing I needed to talk about. This was the actual
Okay, go
only
ahead,
game
Dan.
I needed to bring up on Big Thing. I played The Good Life.
Yes, I
You played it too?
I played it a little bit, and then I was like, oh, this is like all the goofy side shit in Deadly Premonition without the main game of Deadly Premonition. I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah, there should be a warning on the door that says, by the way, this game is nothing but fetch quests. Like, literally every step of the hours I played that game was fetch quests. And I was already not hot on it, even though I do enjoy the main character being in a podunk backwoods fucking town just saying, this goddamn shithole. Or this goddamn hellhole.
She's a check mark.
I'm gonna be honest, as a person who's lived in Niceville most of his life, I resonate deeply with this lady. But it was enjoyable. That aspect of it was really, truly enjoyable. The aspect where everything's literally a fetch quest was not. And it's unfortunate.
And you move slow, and if you hold the sprint button too long, you have a heart attack, just like Deadly Premonition.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's okay. Eventually, you turn into a dog and you can run slightly faster for slightly longer.
Oh my God.
I stopped playing this game at a point when I got to a gate to get up to this mansion, which is what the important thing was supposed to be. Some guy stops me at the door and he's like, I'm going to call you the knight of this town. And she's like, what? And then he's like, go get me a sheep and write it to me to prove you're a knight. I'm like, okay. And he goes, here's this pan flute. Use it to call the sheep. I walked so many square miles mashing that pan flute and trying to find a sheep that would let me ride it. And I couldn't. And I'm like, I'm done here. That's what I had to tap out. I'm like, life is short. I beat 5 games in a single week or something. Yeah, I beat 5 games, played 7 total. I couldn't. And that's a shame. I really like the vibes of that game. I would have liked to have known the plot. I see why that game has a 50 on Metacritic for the Switch version. Because the Series X version starts crapping its pants when you move inside of the bar. The moment you step in there, it becomes Game Freak tier coding as they try to figure out, wait, they're in the bar. Who else is in the bar?
Check literally every model in the game. Load it all in.
Yeah, this is all very Deadly Premonition, where it's like everybody has a schedule, and sometimes the game will shit itself and explode because of this.
That is exactly what Pioneers of All of Town does too, because sometimes it hits 2 p.m. and the game just freezes.
This mechanic made in Majora's Mask just can't be translated to modern consoles. I'm sorry.
There's no way the Switch is or Series X is as powerful as the N64. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about The Good Life. It made me sad because I wish there was any gameplay there I could enjoy. Because there are neat ideas all over it, and I enjoyed those neat ideas in isolation, but playing the thing sucks.
Yeah, I like the art style too.
Yes!
But yeah,
And I enjoy the main character design, even though that one person on Metacritic went insane because of it, apparently.
I hate this game because she looks at me like that.
I'm gonna smash my TV and my Xbox. But Phil, did you remember anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to this on Game of the Year, so let's talk about Binding of Isaac Repentance, which is the final Binding of Isaac thing.
it seems insane. I was like, what do you mean?
One second, Bob. I need to... You promise?
I mean, that's what they said.
Okay.
What's up?
I just did. That thing has been an undying lich for something like 12 years.
It's really good. It basically took this big mod that was already popular and was like, we're just going to make this mod official and also add new stuff on top of it. I had to also we're gonna undo the insane thing where I ruined the game for no reason.
That's a popular thing to undo.
I finally had to kneel and just get the mod that tells you what items do when you stand next to them. Because there's like 850 items now.
Oh my god,
That's a lot.
So fuck you. I'm not going to remember which ones are which and whether or not this is a quirky item that ruins everything.
Occasionally, you will just shit blood, and it will kill you.
It's like, oh, this item is really good, and I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up. Your firing rate has increased 3,000%, but you deal minimum damage with every shot. Also, the shots are now quirky and will spin around the enemy and go behind you sometimes. I'm like, well, why is this an item?
Depending on the local weather patterns.
It's really fun. I can feel myself like going to end up putting a lot more time into it, especially since this one actually has like a, okay, you're done moment. There's like a dozen more endings I didn't get now. So it's like, no, you have to go through this combination of areas and beat this boss and do this and this. And I'm like, oh God, how'd you make the game 3 times bigger since the last time I played?
You gotta go, you have to do this correctly to fight Super Mega Death Christ.
But it is still one of my probably still my favorite roguelike, just because of its ambivalence towards you. Like even Hades is like the other really huge popular one, and fucking Enter the Gungeon is like was also like had the dignity of being second best as the unending emperor reigned over the genre for 15 years. But those are like, well, we try to balance things so you're not too weak or too strong. And Binding of Isaac is like, we don't give a shit. Sometimes your dad gives you a small loan of $1 million when you first head out on your adventure. Sometimes your dad is a war criminal and you're being unfairly prejudiced because of his behavior.
Over and over again.
So I do like that angle of it because even with Hades Enter the Gungeon, it's like, I don't want to be balanced. I want to be able to get the item where it's like I win.
Right.
Like in Binding of Isaac, that's the item that turns your tears into bombs. It's like, oh, I just win.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
now every single one of my shots is a bomb.
I'm thinking of the Flash version of that game where you unlock Brimstone that made your tears a beam. And that was just so unbelievably broken that it's just you'd win every time.
Yeah, that's one of them. So yeah, that's pretty good. If you like Binding of Isaac at all, or if you even want to try it now, they now have the Super Deluxe Edition. It's like, if you find yourself liking it, that's like 500 hours that you can burn. That's one of those long ones.
Does it scare you? Just standing at the edge of this crater?
No,
it's a crater he's hung out in regularly for years.
It's his
and
favorite.
also I have 2 monitors now. I just put anime on it, the other tab, and the other screen. And I'm like, okay, I'm multitasking.
I have that part of me that the reason I didn't play MMOs is because they take so much time and money. Because they take time, especially the older ones. That anytime I start playing a game that's like, hey, I could easily consume 200 hours of your life, I start getting nervous.
See, with Binding of Isaac, it just becomes the thing where I'm like, okay, when I'm not doing anything else, it is now Binding of Isaac time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can just load it up and do one run like at 2 a.m. right before I go to bed. and I wouldn't be playing like a real game or anything then.
Yeah, it's like, what else am I gonna do? I'm baked right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess the run-like nature makes that a lot easier to engage with. And
yeah, you can just get out after a run. That makes sense.
Because Bob's only been around me playing Pioneers of All of Town once, and he knows.
Yeah.
It's not like Pioneers of it's not like that where it's, and I had this with Stardew Valley where it's like, where did 12 hours go?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I hit town and I was like, oh, everyone has a heart next to their oh no. There are like 30 romanceable hot guys and girls. I'm doomed. So I chose to romance no one. I win. I love myself, and that's all I need.
But yeah, I think if you're not scared of that sort of brain disease, I think it's pretty good. But that's all I got that isn't going to be on. Oh, actually, there is one more thing that won't be on Game of the Year.
Okay.
I tried the Caligula Effect 2.
Okay.
Caligula Effect 1, interesting story. Real rough outside of that. The sequel, real rough.
I was in such suspense for 5 seconds.
Any interesting story though?
Yeah, there's still interesting story, and this one seems like it might even be more interesting because I've had people who've played farther and be like, no, it's the first one's story.
Sorry, just Bob being like, but she has a great personality, right?
It did. Phil at first made it sound like we lost everything. Yes.
First things first. This game looks like shit. Like this is, despite not shipping on the Vita, this is a Vita game.
Okay, that happens sometimes.
Jesus Christ,
But
man.
I think it's actually made worse because they're now using like console video game camera angles and presentation a little bit. So imagine like Persona 4 if it had like the cuts and angles of Persona 5 with those same models.
That would be great.
That would be really funny.
No, now I'm imagining something that looks like Cold Steel 1 but worse.
Yes, that is actually a really good analogy.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, it is insane, Bob.
I like that you get to define your protagonist's mental illness in the start.
That's neat.
Wait, you get to define it, or you get to choose? Do you get to?
You get to define it.
I want that one.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Because what happens is the plot of both of these games is that like a virtual idol gathered up so much faith energy they basically became a god. And it's like, oh, humans are sad, so I'm going to make this virtual reality where I keep people who are sad forever. And both games are about escaping that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's like Belan.
So, except not stupid.
I don't know.
Except like, and minor spoilers for the Caligula Effect 1. In Caligula Effect, it's stuff like, it even shames Persona in this regard, where it's like, what's your like crippling issue? It's like, I'm transgender, and you're like, oh, that shouldn't be it by itself. It's like, I didn't realize it until I was 55.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, and I basically shut down because it's like, I can't tell anybody. I can't tell my parents who are still wanting me to get married. I can't tell my boss. I don't have any friends. I'm a Japanese salary worker.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I do? And so they get on that, and the backstories are stuff like that. Like, it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to define your protagonist's version of that because it's like, oh, what fucks you up? And you pick one of 3 options. And then there are like 2 4-option picks to clarify after that.
Huh.
So if I'm doing the math right, it's like you have a potential of something like 48 different mental illnesses.
Oh, that's awesome. The next Kingdom Hearts game needs to open like that.
Sadly, this game is bad. They improved the UI and menus a shit ton. The menus in this are slick and feel really good to navigate. The problem is they have like the combat is like a combo system where you juggle enemies and stuff. But they're like, we want you to use that in every battle. So every battle takes 3 times as long as it should. Also, we have 4 times as many random battles as we should.
I have no mental image for this, so I'm just imagining the most C grade mock-up of a Persona 5 menu with the Persona 5 battle theme done on a kazoo.
No, the music is good in the present, like the everything but the models
Okay.
looks all right.
That's okay. Vita's an aesthetic now.
But it's just like, man, it took me 2 hours to get through this opening dungeon, and it shouldn't have taken that at all. Like it doesn't have a gimmick. It's just it's just hallways. And it's like it only takes so long because you put way too many enemies, and I'm like, okay, I'll turn it down to easy, because I beat on this boss's ass for 20 minutes and did like a third of his health. So it's like, I'm gonna turn this down to easy, and that's way overcorrecting. Because I walk into that same fight on easy, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna use the super moves that I had saved up and did maybe a tenth of his health on normal. Dead.
Yeah.
So I might go back to it at some point on easy just to see the story and stuff, but it's like, man, come on. Like you have and it's like, okay, director and writer of Persona 2, can you write but let someone who's less than 100 years old direct the game?
No.
Can somebody who played a JRPG after Dragon Quest 3 please design the combat and experience scaling and everything, please?
God, are we getting that Dragon Quest 3D 3 remake this year?
Oh
I
my!
don't think it's this year. I think it might be next year.
Yeah, I can't remember.
God, that looks amazing. Sorry, this next year looks so good.
Oh yeah, I'm so full. Yum.
But that's all I got.
Oh, okay.
I had one game.
Okay.
Okay,
That I
get
forgot
two,
about.
so I'll get that after KZ.
Oh, okay, cool.
Go ahead, Gacy.
All right, so this isn't going to show up my game of the year, but I thought it was interesting. I tried out Dungeon Encounters.
Okay.
This is a game that came out around the same time as the Voice of Cards game. This is being directed by Hiroyuki Ito, who directed Final Fantasy 6, 9, and 12, and has done basically nothing since those games.
That's fucking weird.
Wow.
He came back. He pitched this game to Square themselves and also wanted it specifically to be the way it is, which is insane. This is the lowest budget game I have ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Here's how this presentation starts. I load it up and it's a title screen. They're like, all right, choose your file. They give you 2 paragraphs about these labyrinths appeared, monsters came out, it fucks with people, you have to go in there. You click OK. You're at your team building screen. That is the only story that I think that game may have. They've set your setting. You're now you're bringing in people. There's like party members. They have like auto generated names and like roles, and they're like, here's the tutorials for it. You make your team of like 4 people, and then they drop you in a labyrinth. This labyrinth is a wood texture or something with it's a labyrinth like design. So it's like a crossword puzzle in a way, where they're like little square units that you walk around, and there's a 3D model on it, and that's it. It's a 3D model walking in a void in what looks like little like walking across crossword puzzles. and the spaces literally have 1, 7, and you go up to them and they're just event spaces that are like, this is the one that heals you. This is the one that takes you down a floor. And then I picked up a skill that's like, this will tell you where the enemies are, because otherwise they don't. And those are black squares with numbers on them.
Okay, so how do you move around this world? Did you roll dice? Is this like straight up a board game?
No, you just move with the stick or the D-pad, and you're just running across it. You can adjust the speed to hyper speed, because the whole gimmick here is that you get ability points and stuff if you cover a lot of the field or you 100% of floor.
Casey, I'm going to tell you something.
Sure.
I pulled up gameplay to help me imagine.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like Casey says, this is one of the cheapest video games he's ever seen, and I'm like, I need to see that.
Yes.
I need to know. Casey,
Yes.
he's walking across this crossword.
Yes.
He runs into an enemy, and because I was not prepared for this. Like, even with what you said, I was not prepared for this. It popped up with 4 character logos on each side and a bar next to them. I'm like, what are we doing? Loading a league match?
So I'll get into that then. You enter a battle, and this is active time battle because Ito also created the active time battle system. You jump in, their icons. It's slightly different than the average system you would see in like a Final Fantasy, I guess, because you have magic defense and physical defense and health. Before you deal health damage, you have to break one of those. So if you're a physical attacker, you need to break through their physical defense. So you have to deal damage to that till it's 0.
This is released by Square Enix. You have to stagger them.
Yes. You essentially stagger them.
But it's a little different. It's a little different because their defenses don't come back.
Yeah,
ever,
they do not come back. So it just becomes this thing of once that's broken, then you can start hitting that way. And early in the game, there's some enemies that are like, I have no magic defense at all, so you can just immediately pop me.
And that's neat. It's weird to think of defense as being an expendable gauge, like an extra health bar in 2 different methods.
It's essentially like your shields in this.
I look at this game and all I can think of is Unlimited Saga, the other $2 RPG.
Everything the way he described it, he's like, I wanted this incredibly minimalist thing that celebrates the fun of thinking. And I'm like, holy shit, you're so old. I love you.
Finally, the thinking man's crossword puzzle RPG.
I'm looking at this and I'm just like getting a thing in my brain just going PSP. PSP over and over.
I posted screenshots and Aggro said, cool, what PSP game is this?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I don't see any reason this couldn't have been a great hit on the PSP.
Nobuo Uematsu did all the music in this. And I saw someone in a thread go, man, he really did a really good banger in this town. And someone said, dude, it's Beethoven. It's all classical music that he did with electric guitars.
Okay.
So if you've played Catherine, you will recognize many tracks here.
Cool.
That part was killing me. The fact that the effects of attack is just the character portrait moves or you're hit by a spell, so you just go, woo.
Yeah, it's just a portrait attached to these fucking ATB bars and life bars that just move left and right or get squiggly.
Just turn Terra Battle into this and release it. I'll buy it.
Please! Do something, you asshole!
No, they refused. You will play the collaboration that was in Final Fantasy 15.
Actually, as it turns out, I won't.
Oh, damn.
Spoiler.
KZ, did you get put into wage slavery by a rat, like another person on Twitter who played this?
Oh yeah, there's also this thing where I did not, but there's this thing in the game where it's like, oh man, you owe money now, and you can just owe millions of dollars, and just be in the negatives. There's also stuff like, oh, this enemy didn't attack, it knocked your party member away, go find them. And if you don't have the ability to be able to find them, it's over. You won't. Good luck. Because I wiped. And I went, what do I do now? And then it brings you back to the first floor to the academy, which is like the hub. The hub in the very first floor. This game has 100 floors in it. I got to maybe 12 or something before I stopped. And I went, what do I do about the ones that died? Are they gone forever? It's like, no, you need to get to the floor they died on. Get to the coordinates they were on. And then interact on that one and recruit from there. You have to enter the recruit menu in your menu, but then you're full. So it becomes a thing where you have to ferry their corpses. So it becomes a thing of, I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to grab you. And then I'm going to go to the space on the map that's the revive station, which I don't remember it charging you at all. So you tap it. And then part of the challenge also comes from the fact that the enemies are randomly generated on the map every time you enter a floor. So sometimes they'll just be in different spots. And then they'll have some really good puzzles. Like, you hit the math puzzle space, and it just has ciphers on it that I was able to figure out, oh, it's 3 numbers. So it's floor 5, X23, Y7. And if you get to that space and stand on it for 2 seconds, it activates and says you solved the puzzle. Here's a gun.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Someone made a 1980s RPG and released it 2 months ago.
This is even when you compare it to the 80s PC RPGs from Japan stripped down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. It's really charming how no money and how that person just wanted to make this.
Yeah.
This is like the most distilled, here's my vision, and Square's like, this will cost us literally nothing.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, by all means. I was shocked, and it's not appearing on my game of the year because after I wiped and realized how much I'd have to do to get characters I had leveled up 5 times to get back, I'm like, I'm good. Though that being said, I got a bunch of money from that, and I bought like a sword, and it's like I'm melting enemies, and I'm like, this game can probably get broken in half if you really think it through. But
See, the Square greenlighting this makes sense in the same fiscal year, because check it out, right? You put it on the same spreadsheet as Balan, and without including it, Balan costs $80 million, and including it, Balan and it cost $80 million.
yeah, this is like
It's a rounding error.
what's the name of the studio that makes all the fucking horror movies for $5 now?
Oh God, damn it!
Blumhouse.
You think I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's Blumhouse. They do it, but there's that other.
Yeah, I think
but
about
yeah.
them where they're like, we're gonna put out like the Invisible Man movie, and it cost us $5 million and made like $80 million. This feels like that, but $0.
We greenlit and fast tracked the development of a script based on Five Nights, but we didn't get the license.
If anyone in the audience is interested in a game that has no flavor, no juice, just mechanics only, then by all means.
How much does this cost?
I think it was $20.
Oh my God, no.
I think
fuck off.
I
Seriously?
don't remember the exact price, but I think it was $20.
You gotta be shitting me here, man. This is the cheapest looking video game I've ever goddamn seen.
Yeah, it was like, I'll pay $10 at most. That's me.
Which is fine. If it was $10, that would be. It's $30. It is $30.
I spent $30
Oh yeah,
on this.
fuck that. That's
That's
insane.
insane.
I don't regret it. It was very enlightening, honestly. It's really funny because then some of the reviews are like, this is one of Square's best RPGs in years. And I'm like, that's wrong. However, it is quite neat.
I would love to play it myself and find out maybe just the trailer doesn't sell it, but there's no way.
Hey, it's okay. I could bring my PS5 out here and you could truly experience the PS5. Really, it runs at 60 on the Switch.
Whoa, no way.
Imagine that as you render one 3D model of an old man walking on a crossword puzzle.
Hey, depending on which character is in your lead is which model they use.
Oh, okay.
Bob, what was that other game
Yeah,
you played?
Bob, what did you play?
I also played Age of Empires 4
Oh,
because I was like, I like Age of Empires a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're thinking with the story they made here.
oh no, man.
You boot the game and they show you in a tutorial like is good for any newcomers to the Age of Empires series. It does a good job of like introducing the basic mechanics of, okay, this type of unit beats this type of unit. This is how you build things. And it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start the story mode and they do a super basic version of that tutorial where it's only about what units hurt other units. And it takes like 5 to 10 minutes of just that.
Yeah, that's part of what made me drop off when I was like, this isn't giving me enough things to do.
And the presentation is terrible because they're like, let's make like a History Channel show, but let's make it more like it's done by the BBC. So it's just the British lady talking about, oh man, then this happened, then this happened. It's like, you're doing this in the most uninteresting way you can.
If they got the Ancient Aliens guy to narrate this, it would have been great.
Yeah, that's why I tweeted when I first played it. I was like, you really went and made a History Channel show and didn't get him? What's wrong with you?
Even comedy shows get him.
Yeah, they present it in a way that doesn't give you any like investment. Imagine if Dynasty Warriors intro guy was more boring. because Dynasty Warriors has their announcer who just
And he's-
plainly tells you the events.
And he's the most monotone man in human history.
Yes, and somehow they've made something less engaging than that.
Lu Bu, who was drunk off his ass.
Would you say more monotone than Tekken 7 story mode, man?
More out of touch because like Tekken 7 Storyman is in that world. This is a lady's like, this happened back then and in this historic event, and then they do like, here's the real location as it is now. So like a modern city is here and you can see it in the background, and they put CG stuff over like, oh yeah, this is how the battle happened here. It's like, this just looks weird and it doesn't make me feel like I'm in this universe at all. I don't like it. But I still like the skirmishes. Like, I'll just go play like versus AI, and that's fun. They seem to have done a lot to differentiate each class or each. Like the Mongolians play in a completely different way than anyone else. Oh yeah, every single base they make, every single structure can just be packed up and they can take it somewhere else. They work in a completely different way than anyone else. And the Chinese also have like totally different mechanics around, okay, if you have this kind of building, that'll generate money by having a dude walk around collecting money for everything else, or every individual building. It'll get you more gold. I was like, this is really neat. I wish that you made a story mode that was fun at all. Also, previously Age of Empires games, you get to choose what culture you're playing as.
Right.
This is like, you are starting here. You are British. I'm like,
No! Fuck you!
You're starting here. You are British.
so that's not fun. Like, I just
Nothing
want
fun
to
about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that with Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point is to explore each side, and there's, as it turns out, there are a lot of empires.
Yeah, they made that same mistake with that Samurai Warriors game this year of like, the whole game's about Nobunaga. It's like, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm here for.
No, that's not what I'm there for either.
Which I guess is going to go like, when you start the story mode, you see the full timeline. I was like, this is the earliest point. That's neat. I don't care. I don't care how actual history unfolded. I want to hear about this culture or this culture.
Bob, you're interested in culture at large? Well, then you'll certainly be interested in British culture.
Never.
Yes.
Not in a million years. They have no culture.
So that's unfortunate, but I look forward to going farther and getting more races to come out. Like, we don't have Japan yet. We don't have a bunch of other ones that were in previous games.
They don't. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It seems
All
like a
right.
weird to not have.
That seems fine.
That's all though.
Pod Lords.
Whoa! Fuck! Oh, fuck!
But why are people so scared of Pod Lords? Pod Lords. What's up?
I was just reading old big think titles. I'm sorry. Like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Ascended Vegeta Lab Coat.
Yes, that's right. The Pod Lords. Pod Lords such as E. Lee Broyles, Corey Brown, New Pod Year, Same Pod Channel, Red Blaze 27, Juicifrost, the Insufferable Troglodyte, which because of the comma and the exclamation mark makes me think like the Insufferable Troglodyte's about to fall off of a thing, and I'm calling Juicifrost to help save it. Juicifrost, the Insufferable Troglodyte. Suzu Shiro, Emperor Zero, Shibuya Gato, leaked shot from Final Fantasy XIV live action Netflix.
Oh.
What? That's the guy.
Of all the characters for that to be Joe.
Danny Richardson. Rado. 101 Shades of Wonderful remastered. Hider in the House 2. Still starring Gary Busey. Filmed on location in Feels Crawl Space.
Yeah, that sure fucking happened.
God.
Gary Busey left his shoes.
WTF Spider-Man. Hey, clothing companies, make some more purple clothes for men, especially pants. I'm sick of seeing the same goddamn colors. Oh my God, are you still... 1 second, I found this skeleton in the podlords. I think it has something to do with a thing called Padre Roo. I don't know.
Wake up.
DFW3K. You know, I try to wake them up every week.
It's not sinking in.
Rip to the legend and fuck Viacom. Bob, did you know you own a very rare shirt?
I know, it's so sad.
Oh, I was really upset to find out about this. Like, no, now I have to buy one of the 10,000 illegal copycats that have suddenly sprung up.
I think the original guy made one of his shops is still selling it because they only did the cease and desist on Teespring or something. Shiny Mew floats away till next year.
Land.
Kristen. King of Fightberry 15. Shatter all expectations.
Oh my God. Oh no.
He's so handsome.
What a great team.
More like Dripberry.
More like K-Doink.
Godhead Steam Deck Edition. Ittery Sidwids. I don't know what this is.
It's an extremely warped cover for Mystery of the Druids, and I assume that name is also some horrible amalgamation of it.
Yeah, I don't know what a Mystery of the Druids is. I've seen the cover and it confuses me.
There's no M in here. That's why I'm like, it can't even be an anagram for that. They're like, there isn't? Uh-oh.
Gotta go.
I did this anagram wrong. Anagram's not the word I'm looking for. Kyle Bjork. Zilter. There is no beat. There is no bit. I'm sleepy.
Fair.
Sam.
Iron Aggro. Bligda Blue. Schligdas Poo. Oh no, you shanked my Jenga ship. Monster Hunter. Rising and Riding. Learns about a 10-year-old visual novel in November, plays it, declares Katawa Shoujo 10 out of 10 Goaty, doesn't elaborate further, leaves. Jordan. I sound upset at him. Did you notice that?
There's many reasons to be.
Oh, okay, well, just Jordan, one of those. Cooper, Tank. Actually, yeah, there are reasons to be upset at Jordan. Like alleging I don't listen to... Whatever. What the fuck is... Proud cycle of violence and regime change sponsorer and friend of the show. You ever have a podlord that's just allegations?
Allegedly.
Right? BN12. AG's Bird Facts. The duck on Homestar Runner Screen 13 is actually a dragon from the game Adventure. I already knew that. That dragon looks terrible.
Yeah, so did I.
That dragon looks absolutely terrible. Where I'm like, what the fuck you mean that's a dragon? Did you know Stinko Man's theme is Rad Racer?
Wow.
A new year, a new BTD, and only 2 months away from killing chaos.
Yeah.
Drive type cam. Floppy around and find out. Indigo Sykes. Sometimes they just type in a seizure and I have to read it. That's my job.
Yeah.
Temema gamers, Atamar Vehe Dosili. Big Think Nalima Nut Dan and Bob Video Games. KZS Sir Everson. M. Mr. Feel.
Wouldn't it be Senor Feel?
I don't. Mr. apparently is one of those super words. There's no translation.
Like Nakama.
Yes.
Yes.
Untranslatable super word.
Evil Lucario. Clutchins. A raccoon that can smell you. My grandmother once said a cuisine's flavor is decided by preparation and performance. It's the same with battle. Aspiring Bamani ambassador Shinji16 wants to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. Buying my Catboy transformation pills at the Metaverse Walmart.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can only buy a $45 t-shirt so you can go to Zoom work meetings.
And Virmvarm, thank you very much to our podlords.
Thank
you know that,
you.
that joke
Thank
for
you,
Feel,
podlords.
That joke for Feel at the end segues us perfectly into news.
Thank you, Podlords.
Words.
And if you'd like to become a podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions when the format of those shows force us to leave ideas behind, and a Patreon exclusive show 1 per month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and talk about. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. If you don't have any money, you can always help us by spreading the word. And if you don't have any friends, you can die a tragic death and be reincarnated in another world and go on an adventure of self-improvement to defeat the Demon King. And then after you defeat the Demon King, you can reincarnate in the normal world as yourself and use your now improved social skills to make friends and then tell them about us. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.
It's my favorite part of the show now.
I can't believe my podlord can be this powerful.
I can.
We got some fucking news.
We sure
Okay.
do.
We sure do.
Can we undo this week of news?
I would love
Is there a
to.
Control Z on all this?
There's some funny ones in here, so no, we had to stay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I farted.
I'll you know what? I'll cover the complicated thing that is my news.
Oh god.
Then we'll move to Feel. So hey guys, they did waves of banning people from the dev mode on Xbox because they weren't uploading real apps. Because they're just using it as emulation boxes.
Yeah.
Microsoft was accused of just shutting down dev mode entirely, and they're like, no, we're not doing that on purpose. Send an email in, we'll unban you. You should maybe use our mode for the thing it's intended for. Feel free to email us so you could be a dev. And, certain people got banned, like Modern Vintage Gamer and other people who are just using it as an emulation box. This is a shame because I think that is a really interesting aspect of that console, and they got a lot of positive energy around them saying, hey, every Xbox is a developer kit.
Right.
I also think it's really neat that this has an emulation box in there. It's a shame. One of these options is disappearing, and the other one seems to be with a hammer hanging over your head that you better make something and put it on the store, or otherwise that might happen. But it seems like they're saying maybe this wasn't intentional. They're going to review some things, and maybe if you message them, you'll get the account back. Who knows? But apparently they did it to everyone who didn't upload in the last 90 days, which is basically everyone. Because the only people I know with the dev mode on Xbox are people who use it to run emulators.
I mean, yeah, I looked at that and it's like there's only minor stutters when emulating GameCube games on a Series X. So I was like,
I don't know that I would call it minor stutters, but it was appealing looking. I would like to put it through. I was going to get it at some point, but now I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm not spending $20 to get the dev mode and then getting banned.
Yeah, I have to wonder if maybe, because even if you're actually making something, you're not going to necessarily be uploading every 90 days.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Like, so hopefully this was just a big oopsie and it won't happen or continue to happen, but we'll see.
But this is my follow-up app, Hello Worlds. There's an S.
Yes.
It's my second app.
Yeah, I do think it would be funny if it's just like, okay, if you want to use it for this, here's the fastest, easiest thing you can produce with it.
I know.
And
Right.
I'm glad we both
then-
immediately start thinking that's what's going to happen to the entire app ecosystem. Oh, well. But yeah, seeing as how they're undoing it a bit, that's good. We're not going to end up in a Yellow Dog Linux situation, most likely. For people who don't know, that was when Sony took out other OS and all the hackers went, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got $14 because of that.
Ooh.
Yep, they lost that class action lawsuit, which is good, and they deserve to. I hope you spent your $14 on a good trip to Quiznos or something.
I don't remember. It was like 12 years ago.
I know, right? Like, that's why I said Quiznos, because it's the only thing I could think of I haven't seen in the last 9 years. You know what? I think Feel's to do is fucking hilarious. Hey, Feel, go.
Okay. So is it Levine or Levine?
Levine is what everyone says.
Ken Levine's new game has been in development hell for 8 years. He's a fucking jackass.
Yeah, everything that came out of this is like, what a cartoonishly huge jackass.
So the studio that made Bioshock Infinite, he just fucking shut that studio down himself, not even related to that game's performance, because he felt like he was making corporate games and wanted to make a smaller games. Imagine losing your job because your boss is a pretentious dickhead.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, the basic gist is, we're not, like, this game is fucked. It's like, Levine has a background in screenwriting and drama.
Mm-hmm.
So he has it in his head that you make things good by redoing them over and over again, which is fine for a scene in a movie before you shoot it.
Yes.
And is not fine for when you're making a video game and that shit is done.
Yeah.
So it's sounding like the development of 1, Bioshock Infinite, and 2, Duke Nukem Forever, where it's shit like, yeah, he plays a new fucking game and then wants shit from that game in our game.
But the fact he's been in this hole for 8 years shows this is so much worse than Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have his own publisher breathing down his neck like, you need to make something.
Take Two just seems content to give him rope.
Yeah.
Because Take Two is in charge of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like,
they
if we wait 10 years, he'll make something as good as Bioshock Infinite, a game that sold 5 million copies and now nobody ever brings it up except to make fun of how weird and racist it is.
Who would bring it up to make fun of how weird it is? No one on this podcast.
No one.
I bought that collection. I'm so excited with the context of this is just who this guy is. To go
there's
through
this
one
fucked up
Infinite
thing where if you push back against him too much, you just get fired silently, and then everybody's like, they weren't a good match for the studio.
Oh.
So he's basically just created. Oh, and another thing is, it's like, yeah, he was like, I want to make smaller games with a smaller team, but he's treating it like we're making a AAA thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're working on it for 8 years, so yeah, it's got to be AAA.
So,
what else are you doing?
Basically, they've started over, and he's chopped shit out so many times that they have no idea when this is going to come out. They're like, we're hopeful it'll be ready in 2 more years.
Oh, good. A 10-year dev cycle for an indie game?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, not an indie game because Take-Two's publishing it and they own the studio. So I guess a indie scale game.
Just the fact that in this time that it's taken them, they will have put Bioshocks as an IP on ice for a while, then uniced it, then created a brand new studio, and will release a new Bioshock game by the time Ken Levine puts out this game.
Yeah. Seems that way. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I assumed, because as an artist, you can end up in a space like Bioshock Infinite, right? In a space like this on a project because of how much it means to you. And I understand that Bioshock Infinite occupied that space where that could happen to him, right? Like Ken Levine made Bioshock, and now Bioshock Infinite needs to be so much more. The fact he's doing it again,
it just feels like he's really up his own ass.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I wanted to clarify something for people to understand the scale of the problem. You know how Phil was saying he fires people who push back. One of them was the producer.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad to fire a producer because they pushed back at all. Jesus.
I should have known that this had to be truly doomed, because I feel like once a year I will be reminded of Ken Levine somehow, and I'm like, wonder what the fuck's going on with that.
I mean,
Yeah, I honestly forgot that he was even making something. I thought he just noped out of the industry.
Yeah, I kept going, oh, clearly he's not making anything, because I keep thinking about this over and over again.
yeah, I thought he fucked off to Hollywood.
Right?
Because that was a part of his plan. He was supposed to make some reboot of an old IP, if I remember correctly. And then that seemingly fell through, and here he is again. And he's been doing this for years now because we had public knowledge of when Take-Two founded the studio with him. So...
yeah, we're currently sitting at 7.5 years of development time.
that's nauseating.
Yeah.
For anyone who's really bad at keeping up with this, that means this shit happened over a year into last gen.
This game was in development longer than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Which might be the biggest video game ever made.
And who knows how tangible it even is now?
Right.
I even think about games that took 10 years. I'm like, I mean, is there even a build comparable to what FF15 was at 7.5 years?
No.
I mean, at least with FF15, they definitely weren't working on it consistently to make one thing the whole time.
Yeah, this has me
I don't
worried
believe
that
that game was even entered real development until they announced it again.
Yeah,
in 2013.
Yeah, but that still has me worried of like, does a vertical slice of this exist over there? And I'm just gonna think it's Duke Nukem Forever, so no.
Yeah, it just
or there's
sounds like
80 of them, and none of them
that
will be used.
sounds much more likely. I assume it's going to be like Bioshock Infinite, sort of where it's like just crowbar together shit from the 150 builds that into something because Take-Two is demanding we ship. There's also the shitty thing where artists are like, it's like a decade of my career vanished because they're big publishers are like, you can't put things you worked on in your portfolio until the game is announced.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, I've been working on this fucking game for 7 years. I can't put a single thing from it in my portfolio because they haven't officially announced it yet.
That's dire.
Yeah, no, that sucks. It's terrible. God.
So who knows if this will even come out? I'm sure if it does, it'll be a hilarious disaster. Let's move on to equally horrible news. Ubisoft is bleeding to death. People are there are so many staff departures, people internally are calling it the cut artery.
Oh.
20% plus of top creatives on Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla have left, with dozens of middle-level employees and way more low-level ones just leaving.
I mean, this makes sense with
yeah.
how much we've heard of how bad
Yeah,
environment was there.
Yeah.
and the fact that people said it's not getting better.
Right? Like they did all the press about, no, we're fixing it. And it sounds like they're not at all.
It's not getting better, and it seems like we're completely kneecapping Assassin's Creed as a franchise anyway.
Oh, yeah. It's not just that the thing over there is a toxic atmosphere with complete pricks at the top, right? Mm-hmm. It's the fact that creatively you hear about all these things that are happening to their projects as well.
It becomes this thing of the news about that, and apparently Far Cry is going to change and become more worse. And then they're like, Splinter Cell's coming back as an open world. No, we're making an Avatar game.
Have you seen like God, that the bird at the open mic night, and somebody's like, "Boo, you suck," and the bird's desperately looking through his cards, and it's all the same joke.
Yes.
I'm struggling.
That's Ubisoft with open world game.
that Prince of Persia remake is doomed. The only thing where I look at them and I go, "Oh, neat," is that Mario game. That's it.
That didn't come out, did it?
No, it's
No,
coming
they announced
out this
that
year.
over a year in advance. It was.
Whoa.
We didn't see that Prince of Persia. We haven't seen that Prince of Persia shit for more than a year.
Yes.
I think it's
they
been
showed it
exactly
once.
a year now.
Hey, again, they announced that it was still alive the way Sinbad did. Where they're like, we're still making it. It was supposed to come out a year and a half ago. We're sorry.
So that's fucked. Square Enix's CEO put out like the New Year's thing and said the word NFT a bunch, and everybody gets mad. Let me explain to people how most of this NFT stuff is going to go, because nobody knows what NFT actually means. They just hear money, and if they don't say it, the psychotic fucking lizard people that make up the investors will get mad. So it's like, we're going to do NFTs. We're going to start a new studio for NFTs. They're going to be around for 2 to 3 years, make nothing, cost us $2 to $20 million, and then we're going to shut it down. And that's going to be what all of these are forever.
Yeah, because the weird thing about investors is not that they want to see results. Investors are all meth heads.
Yeah, they need to chase the trend.
Yeah.
That are incredibly paranoid.
Yes, it's either really high-end trend or something really old that you did, like Capcom investors saying, why aren't arcades making billions of dollars?
See, that's
or something that just is completely detached from reality.
Yes.
Right. It's usually that one. It's usually not, I know what you did in the past, because usually they're not even that aware. Usually it's, hey, I heard putting farts in your game was the next wave. Are you guys putting farts in your game? And they usually have to go, we've thought about putting farts in our game.
It's like you have to say this even if you don't believe in it, just to get them to leave you alone, and then you get back to business.
And they're not gonna.
Yeah, the Square.
They're
one
not
was
gonna put
especially
NFTs. They're not gonna put NFTs into Final Fantasy 14. Like I've seen multiple people like say, "Are they gonna do that?" I'm like, no. They're gonna make some kind of horrible mobile thing. If they make anything, and this doesn't just burn to the ground silently in the background, warming the area, like Square Enix's cloud gaming division, Shinra Technologies, did.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, what is the equivalent of, because we had Ubisoft do it with
Quartz.
with Quartz, and specifically for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And I'm like, what do you do here? And I'm like, Left Alive. We're gonna make some Left Alive NFTs.
I think it will be the first Soldier NFTs, if it's anything even remotely notable.
Yeah, I assume it's something like that. That's a mobile project or a small project they can bury. I think it is in the realm of possibilities that they could do it in 14, but man, I don't think that's going to happen, because that's difficult. I think they're going to...
I mean, that's insanely difficult. That game's base code is 20 years old.
Yeah, I feel like you do it in some other project that doesn't become a nightmare.
Plus, they're going to dodge console. They're not going to do it on anything that will ever be on a console, because they're too scared, because people in charge of those platforms have already made like sounds towards NFT, and you don't want to get like 2 years into your NFT game and then Sony's like, we don't allow that shit on our platform. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think will be the definitive end of this, is because Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo don't want to deal with little Johnny accidentally spent $12,000 on a fucking ape sticker for Cloud's Buster Sword, and they can't refund it because it's on the blockchain. It's much easier to just go, none of that shit on our platform.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Hopefully that's where this leads, because oh man.
Yeah,
there's no positive to this.
I mean, last thing I think any of these fucking console owners, maybe not Microsoft, honestly, but Nintendo and Sony, the last thing they want is to facilitate a weird, legally gray open market space within a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Phil Spencer, like 2 months ago, just called NFTs a scam, basically, in the kindest way possible.
And that is what they are.
Where he's like, there's literally no benefit here. It seems like it's just a way to scam players.
Yeah.
So I have no interest in anything with that.
Yeah, it's just like when you're focused on the idea of people enjoying using your system to play games and the way people use game consoles, the last thing on your fucking mind is how are they going to this isn't a thing for them. This is for you.
Yeah, no, even that statement from the Square Enix president, it's like, I know a lot of people like playing games for fun, but this is about playing games for productivity or something.
Yeah, play to contribute. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they don't know. It's just buzzwords.
Yeah,
like,
and I think he even brings up the metaverse. He wants to embrace that too.
Yeah,
well, of course.
Yeah, nobody knows what the metaverse is, but they have to keep talking about it. The closest anybody has is, it's like Second Life, but owned by Facebook, and you go to Cyber Target to buy a t-shirt for $45.
Yep.
Not a real t-shirt, a fake one.
Yeah.
For your virtual avatar.
Mutan Insight, one of those weird Japanese asset houses, like this one specifically, they did assets for Final Fantasy 15 episode Arden.
Okay.
That is specific.
And also some of the Atelier games, and I think one of those one other Gust RPG like Blue Reflection or something. They're staffing up to work on a major RPG remake. It's framed like this will be a big $60 retail title. They don't appear to be developing it. All the people they're hiring are artists. So I assume they're just making assets for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a part 2 of an RPG remake in development, so I just assumed it was that.
Right.
Oh, no, I didn't assume it was that. I assumed Square Enix has those people
I assume that
tied
there are
up
going to
already.
be so many dev houses they need having working on assets for that we can
Maybe,
expect that.
but
any
I'm assuming
day.
that it might be. I assume it could be anything else because like we're in the PS1 RPG revival.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are working on the Chrono Cross remake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it could be that. It could be that Final Fantasy IX one that leaked that might exist in some form because they're making a cartoon. It could be Sony getting a wild hair up their ass and being like, I guess we should remake one of the ones we own. We have that Legend of Dragoon thing, right?
I'm like, nah, Sony, you own Evergrace. Make another Evergrace.
Every time I think about the Chrono Cross remake, Bob, I keep thinking, when is it going to be revealed that that's the thing Forever Entertainment's making? Because they're making Square Enix remakes.
See, that'll be really funny.
Is that the
That's
Panzer
the
Dragoon?
Panzer Dragoon remake, guys. That'll be really
Are
funny
they doing
because I
things for
feel
Square
like
Enix?
Yeah, they signed an official deal to remake things for Square. So
They did.
there's a bomb somewhere.
Yeah.
that'll be hilarious if that's the case because I feel like Square Enix fans might be fucking furious.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
they have,
those
they have standards.
they
so
might call it out. Yeah.
Who knows?
So like, who knows?
Don't worry, they patched it.
So, Leatherface is in Dead by Daylight. And he had a thing where where there was a cosmetic that was because Leatherface cuts off your face and then wears your face. So that was cosmetics for the survivors, and they're taking it out because this picture I'm posting is why they're taking it out. I would say, yeah, that's a good reason to take this out.
Oh.
Yeah, they were taking all of them out though, right?
Yeah, they're taking all of them out, but they're taking them out because people were using the black ones for racially motivated.
Oh, God damn it.
things.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Yeah, no shit. God. Don't give them tools.
God. Jesus Christ.
And this isn't video gaming news, but it came out right now while we were recording, and I think it is the funniest thing in the entire world.
What?
Viacom is looking to sell the CW. And the funny part of that is they're like, the CW has not made money since 2006. It started in 2006. The CW has never made money once.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't find that surprising at all.
The funny thing is the way they phrase it, evidently, so I've heard, is that the shows make money, but the network doesn't.
What?
And I'm like, when you phrase it like that, maybe streaming makes a lot of sense.
I still don't know what the CW means.
No one does.
I just remember when I was younger, I'm like, what the fuck happened to the WB?
Yeah, it was, what was it, UPN and WB that fused to make CW? I don't.
Oh, God,
I don't
is
know.
that-
Somebody was saying
I don't
that.
remember at all.
I mean, seemingly they both disappeared around the same time.
All I know is I like the WB. It had a frog.
Yeah. Does the CW have a frog? I don't think
Is
so.
it a TV station?
Yeah.
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
the CW. It was the fusion of CBS and WB.
Bob, did you think the CW was just a hell factory that made lots of disappointment shows based on Warner Brothers shit?
Yes, I thought it was literally just that's the logo we put on our awful WB shows we release online.
Yes, they replaced the WB like network.
Yeah.
And
So when
Bob, are you telling me that if we made a bad Christmas special and I put the CW on it, you'd be like, that's what you put on bad things?
no, because there's a certain group of people who make all of these horrible things and put them on
This
streaming
hell factory.
Yes.
Okay.
this is a really good revelation.
Have they done the 7/7 remake yet?
No, not yet.
Is that going to be on Paramount Plus or HBO
The
Max?
HBO Max, yeah.
Ah.
Now, what seems to happen is they stayed afloat all this time by selling the shows to Netflix, and then then they made money on Netflix.
God.
People watched them on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're like, we have our own services now, so we don't need to put them on Netflix anymore. Oh, our services maybe have fewer people than Netflix, and also we used to make money by selling them to like foreign stations. But we don't want to do that anymore because we have streaming. Unfortunately, our streaming service doesn't have many people watching it. So now just nothing makes. So now we're just selling everything. Goodbye.
That's absurd.
maybe in the future,
Yeah.
they can develop this studio in-house at WB that makes not embarrassing things.
I'm sorry.
I know that sounds wildly impossible.
Square Enix is going to buy it and just be like, oh, okay, all you guys voice Final Fantasy characters now. We found the key.
Ed Boon's just going to be like, they let me make a live-action Killer Croc series.
There's my...
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just fucking CW. We're going to go ahead and, we'll go to Bob's because his list of news is shorter and I get to talk during one of them. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Sure. This is pretty much everything Sony talked about at their CES show.
Yes.
They're working on a Twisted Metal TV series.
We've known about that for a while.
Right, but now they actually got on stage to talk about it. Otherwise, I would not bring this up.
Yeah.
It was like, they seem to be, like, actually serious about doing this.
Oh, yeah, they're very serious. I forgot which writer they got for it, but yeah, they're very serious about this Twisted Metal TV series.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is because David Jaffe brought him up. It was like, oh, yeah, I'm excited for this guy to work on it. He worked on this, which I love.
Yeah, I can't remember right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't either. Oh, well. So that's probably going to happen and maybe be terrible.
Cool.
Looking forward to the podcast.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the podcast. You know why? Because it doesn't say Capcom on the label of this disappointment.
Right?
Finally.
Fucking finally.
They also fully revealed their PlayStation VR 2. That's the real name for it.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad they just did that.
From the company that brought you PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And before anyone goes, they didn't have a PlayStation 1. It was just called PlayStation. You forget. They had a PlayStation 1. It was the small one.
There were also the rogue things, though, like the Vita.
That's
The
true.
least successful thing didn't have a number.
Yeah.
They are learning.
That's true. So I'm not surprised at all that they called it BSVR 2 because they already called it that, but he said it on stage, so now it's real.
They had an opportunity to be quirky and they didn't take it, and I kind of appreciate it.
This new Sony sober.
Right.
Yeah.
In that sense.
The controllers are called Sense controllers.
Yes, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Two.
they got sense.
Yeah, you got two of them, so dual sense.
No, that's a different controller.
The dual sense.
No, 2 Sense controllers.
The
Dual
guys, the controllers sense your fingers,
Yeah.
and then they also have haptic.
Right.
Dual sense.
No, I mean there are 2 of them, but not everything
but then
that's 2.
you'd be dual wielding sense controllers.
If I'm holding dual apples, we don't call them dual apples. I'm just holding 2 apples.
I call them dapples at that point.
Okay, that's questionable.
Apples akimbo.
Nope, not gonna sign up for that either.
Unfortunately, the Halo Infinite, you can only hold 1 apple.
We've also got the specs for it, so it's going to be 4K HDR screen in there. It's a 90 to 120 hertz OLED. With what is this? FOV.
Foveated rendering.
Foveated rendering. Okay, is that where it tracks your eye and renders based on where you're looking?
I don't know, Bob. You stole this news document from me. You tell me.
I wrote it in because nobody put it there.
Hey, this happened at 7 a.m. You gotta give me time.
Feel free to take it. I don't know.
You've had over a day.
But yes, you're correct, Bob. That is what foveated rendering is. For anyone who's wondering why the fuck you would want that, there are cameras in the headset that track your eyes via infrared to let it know where your eyes are looking, and thus it only needs to render detail in that section, saving rendering performance. Considering the PS4 already kind of looked unreal in VR, the fact that the PS5 is so much stronger and it's using that tech is super freaking promising. Hey, Bob, do you know how the field of view on this compares to PSVR 1?
I do not.
Me neither.
Okay,
It's not my news document. Go ahead and move on while I look that up.
It uses one USB-C to cable to connect, so that's good. We don't have a pile of cords like we did with the last one.
Yeah, I keep telling people that's like, this is so much easier to use compared to the last one because of that. Because the last one's like, you get 2 cables in this box, and then you hook that box up to your actual console with 2 cables. And I'm like, so that's That's 4 cables.
Yeah, that thing is an absolute mess. There's a reason it's just sitting on a shelf in my house. I'm like, I'm never plugging this in ever.
I mean, it's doing that because I haven't come to get it.
Did you find it?
Yes. It seems like the field of view's been moved up for 10 degrees. So if you were in a video game, that lets you adjust your field of view. Move it from 100 to 110.
Ooh.
The rendering resolution per eye has gone up seemingly fourfold in twofold in each direction.
Jesus.
Is what it looks like. Yeah, it's about twofold in each direction. So 4 times as much detail.
Number go up.
Because it's 2000 by 2040 per eye. So that ends up at about a 4K image total.
Yeah, it looked pretty good in the last version. So this is great. I'm excited to see it go up. Number go up.
Yeah, number go up. Also, it's an OLED. I wasn't sure if they were going to stick with that technology. There was, in the past, people talking about maybe they would move to a low persistence LCD because some of the other headsets use that.
Right.
The fact it's HDR is really good too.
Now I can burn my retina right there.
Hey, honestly, it's an OLED. It's not going to be that bright.
Yeah.
And the fact you're going to cut off all the light by putting on the headset means this will probably look fucking nuts. They do the worst thing in the world. Anyone who listens to Big Think for a significant amount of time knows me and Bob are huge proponents of VR and constantly talk about, you're outside of the headset. It looks stupid. You're in the headset and holy shit, you're actually feeding Saber tacos. This is the best thing ever.
Right.
They show the lamest looking fucking thing.
They do. But we'll get to that. This also has inside-out tracking, which I assume means it doesn't need a camera. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, 4 cameras on it. 2 of them are for your eyes, and 2 other ones track the environment around you, apparently.
Great. Amazing. That's also the other worst part of the first PSVR.
Yeah, because you could move out of the range of the camera on your TV, and it would just shit its pants.
Yeah, if you turn your head too much, even sometimes it's just like, no, what are you doing?
Well, see, there's supposed to be lights on the backside, so it's not supposed to have that problem.
I know.
It's not supposed to. By the way, inside-out tracking is what John Carmack was working on over at Facebook.
Neat.
Because once again, inside-out tracking is one of the most important things you could do because no human wants to set up beacon towers for their VR.
No, that when you have to have a room special crafted for VR, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
For the average person ever.
I'm really looking forward to somebody cracking this shit open and making it work on PC.
Yeah, I hope that they find some way to that they allow that to happen this time.
Yeah, that'd be really neat. Given its single USB cable, I'm worried that'll actually make that less likely than last time.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Did they close this out with any
they
amazing
sure did.
showcases, Bob?
They showed up Horizon Call of the Mountain. Oh man,
Phil, have you seen this?
No.
Well, it's made by Gorilla and Firesprite are working together. Firesprite worked on the Persistence, a VR game for PSVR 1.
Yeah, and they were acquired by Sony?
Yeah, wait, maybe?
I'm pretty sure they were.
I think so, but I don't know.
Yeah, they were one of the recent acquired...
and they also worked on Wipeout way back in the day.
Acquisitions. Phil, I have timestamped the trailer so that way you get to see the actual game. The actual game they showed off for Horizon Call of the Mountain. Once again, I am hugely into VR. This is the worst. Like, visually stunning. Horizon Call of the Mountain just tries to be a Jurassic Park moment as you sit on a raft with this man whose face looks fake.
I honestly, like, the movement and him looking at you and talking is just like, is this the opening of Skyrim?
Yeah, I know. Yes. I was thinking of that or Anthem.
Yeah, it's got a really weird air to it, and
they should have done something that inspires confidence. This is not going to be just a on rails watch it pretty things, because that's not exciting.
Yeah, when this is Gen 2 of your VR device, I want less experiences and instead video games.
I don't know, man. I fed Saber tacos, and that was pretty good.
Look, I'll take a sequel to that,
That's
but really we need to move on.
That sounds like a game to me.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited for PlayStation VR 2. I bet even the Horizon thing might be pretty good, but it looks terrible. That's a bad premiere for that.
The logo for Horizon.
Oh man!
If you want to look at it, that's supposed to be a mountain.
Yeah.
But all I can see is two little houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had two little roofs.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. This is that's Horizon House Simulator. They missed the mark. That is something the market wants.
I want to feed Aloy tacos.
Yeah, what do you not fucking understand?
I'm sorry, but so many dude bros are not going to be down for that. It's like, not pretty enough to have my tacos.
I don't give a shit.
If she puts on makeup,
Yeah.
then maybe I could give her tacos.
I gotta be real. I don't want to put my fingers anywhere near Ashley Birch's mouth.
God damn it!
It's too dangerous.
You know what? I'm sure she respects that sentiment. I'm pretty sure she's like, yeah, I don't want him to either.
You hang out with meth heads in your crawl space.
Is that Gary Busey?
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm sure this headset will be great. The hand controller tracking sounds great.
Yeah, they should have done something to show that off.
They should have. I don't know what they're doing here with this Horizon thing.
Yeah, I saw like immediately people being like, they need to get Half-Life Alyx on here. They need to get Boneworks. It's like, yeah, they do. That'd be great.
Dude, I'm throwing this out there. There's no way those won't show up.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, because like there's when you need features that specific, and this VR headset that's a much more mainstream one, right? Supports it. Of course you're going to get your fucking game that you spent way too much money on this, because Half-Life Alyx is really expensive.
Yeah, I'd love to see that hit something that I could approach playing it on. I was like, there's no way I'm buying PC VR.
Because PSVR 2 is going to be damn near the quality of the top of the line VR headsets, but coming at half the price.
Right. That's just how this goes down.
Yeah. And it's, once again, going to have those features. So, hot damn. Also, please hack it. Fuck. I just want to use VR chat. Okay. That, and they need to update, fuck, what's the name of that
Rec
one?
Room?
Yes, they need to update Rec Room to use the figure tracking and all that, because I felt really bad when they announced Rec Room for the PS4, and I'm like, but it doesn't have hand tracking, like with the fingers and stuff. There's all sorts of that layer that this won't be able to do that makes Rec Room funny, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna move on. KZ, you got news?
Yeah, first up, we got this today. E3 2022 will be online only again, as you would expect, based on the world.
Look, this wasn't a given until, recent events.
I don't know, just look at some graphs and go, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know, you just look at the graph that it's like a month ago, California, 3,000 a day, and now it's 50,000 a day.
Yeah, now it's worse than ever. Great. All right.
I mean, it's true.
Now-
it's true, and I hate everything and everyone.
Yeah.
But CES is going on right now.
Yeah. There's always a chance of just company going to brute force through something they
Yeah,
shouldn't.
true.
I mean, MagFest is happening right now.
The best fucking
I
tech link.
can't believe that's happening.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, the best fucking
It like landed at the exact worst timing where they couldn't cancel it, and people aren't going to not go and waste money. So
the best opening to a tech linked video recently is him being like, hey, here we are at CES. Wow, this show floor looks a lot like our studio. The guy off camera goes, what are you going to check out first? And he's like, the COVID exhibit. I was like, fuck. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad it's online only again. That means we can get really rich categories for Game of the Year featured around cool gaming events.
You know,
we love so much.
I thought you got this in here, KZ, but you forgot to put in that Jeff Keighley announced his games of summer coming back.
I was going to transition to that because strangely, within 5 minutes of the E3 thing going live, Jeff Keighley's like, push my site live.
no, not again.
We're fucking
We're in hell forever. Sorry.
Nibelian goes, coincidentally, the Summer Games Fest website has now gone live.
Well,
Whatever. His show this year was pretty alright, and it also had that Elden Ring trailer. So go ahead. The Summer Games Fest. You learned to not make it over the course of 2 months. Next up, we got some footage of Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. This is the Jet Set Radio looking game made by the developers of Lethal League. It showed that they, in addition to rollerblades, has skateboard and BMX gameplay, and I watched them do tricks, and it looked like a Tony Hawk game, and that got me excited for it. It looked really sick.
Yeah, that game looks neat.
That has the composer from Jet Set Radio, right?
It does, yes.
Okay.
Because he came in and did stuff for Lethal League as well, and they're like, you guys should do that. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll just make it.
So, okay, I gotta ask the hard-hitting questions, KZ.
Yeah.
Will there be any Family Guy representation in this game?
Maybe. They did people for the past month have been able to submit graffiti for this game.
Oh, no.
And they took submissions and they're like, it's now closed. We're putting them in the game. And I'm like, uh-oh. There's going to be some bad stuff in here.
That's funny as hell. Oh, God, this next bullet.
Okay, so I saw this today. Hot off the news that Ghost of Tsushima has now sold 8 million copies. The director of Days Gone, #FreakerGang, revealed on Twitter that their people over at Sony said that Days Gone was a disappointment despite in 19 months selling 8 million units, which by this point is 10.
The weirdest thing is he doesn't say it's people at Sony that were down about it. He says it's upper management in the studio.
Right. So it sounded like the local directors and management at Sony Bend made it sound like a disappointment. I'm like, that's weird. And then you see in his reply Sean Layden going, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, and then some people said, it's like, why did you cancel Days Gone 2? And then the director of Days Gone said, this was our greatest supporter at Sony. Of all the people, he believed the hardest in the game we were making. But the fact that I had to learn through this that Days Gone has sold over 10 million units, hell yeah, you got this, Deke.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, we saw it critically got dropped like a hot potato.
Yeah.
The game came in hot with tons of glitches, and they discounted the price almost immediately. Like, none of these things apply to Ghost. Ghost sold close to $60 the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, Ghost of Tsushima had 2 years less development time, I believe, and also was not directed primarily by an insane man who was probably a nightmare for people to deal with.
Yeah, apparently that was not a great working environment. This is what people have been alleged to say or whatever. But I don't know. You can't convince me Ghost of Tsushima was cheaper to make than Days Gone, though? Because Days Gone was made by 100 people?
I mean, it can be cheaper to make on its time scale, like, where it's just like, no, you were incompetent and took too long, so now things rack up.
I feel like maybe through outsourcing. Because you know, at a certain point, because keep in mind, it was made by 100 people by the end of development. Days Gone started with a team of like 60 people.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that they outsourced too many cutscenes, say for a morality system they cut.
Yeah.
That, you know, maybe. But that's both games, right?
Yeah.
That's true. We just didn't get to see
I need
how much they made for Ghost.
Yeah, I need to interview the people involved and find out.
Didn't Ghost get announced the exact same year?
Yeah, I think that's the same year.
Yeah, but in terms of production-wise, Days Gone was in production much sooner.
Which is interesting because that makes you wonder if they had spent longer on pre-production on the other project at Sucker Punch that wasn't Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
and
knows?
then Ghost had like the early versions that it's like, it's British swords.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay,
because that is a different project in their eyes.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't related.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we ultimately passed on this because it didn't have all these cool things Ghost has.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to know at what point they both games parallel realized they didn't need a morality system.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I have to assume that for Days Gone, it was someone else being like, he's a psycho in every single one of these.
100 different possibilities, and in all of them, Deke's a psychopath.
Yeah. I at the same I'm not surprised at all that Days Gone actually sold well. Working at retail at the time, that game was still selling really well. There are people that go crazy for zombie games.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising at all it did well.
Like I assumed it sold well. I just wasn't expecting like in under 2 years 8 million. I was thinking like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, but so the thing for me is that it's crazy that they didn't greenlight a sequel.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't, but yeah, I get.
Yes, I'm also glad they didn't.
Like,
but all
it's the baby of the guy that you allegedly, based on what he said, had to fire because he's too crazy and confrontational and like screams at people.
right. So
So
you're like self-admitted.
Yeah, it's like allegedly he said it himself. And I'm like, yeah, this is the weirdest legal gray territory right here.
Right, it's like
he didn't say he got fired for having a temper and screamed at people and threatened them, but when it's like, yeah, I had to go to HR a couple times to learn how to deal with people beneath me when I was upset, and they told me I had to, not yell at people and throw things, and then I left under mysterious circumstances, which I will discuss no further. It's like okay,
yeah.
like plus I have to imagine from Sony's perspective, it's like, we don't need 2 zombie games.
On one hand, I would say they're probably right. On the other hand, the market disagrees.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I approach this Days Gone 2 thing, right? Where everyone knows my opinion. Of course, I don't want a fucking Days Gone 2.
I don't want that because we'd have to make 3 spoiler casts of that one.
but yeah, it sounds like most of the creative staff just left for other reasons. So of course you're not going to do a sequel at that point.
I mean, maybe that'll help, honestly.
It probably would, but what if nobody left wants to make a zombie game?
They're like, we're so tired of taking group photos next to fucking motorcycles.
Yeah, right. They're like,
it was so crazy.
That's also the thing, is that like the inspirations from it were so boomery, and from when it was like conceived, it's like, no shit, you can't make another one. It's like, it's the joke that we don't have GTA 6 yet because they haven't come up with a new crime show for them to steal everything from.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can't make Days Gone 2 because there isn't what's that fucking show?
Sons of Anarchy.
They obviously,
Yes.
yeah, they haven't done it. There's not a new Sons of Anarchy for them to steal from.
Yeah, that's true. I really hope though that Sony Ben gets supported by Sony to come into their own creative space, because I feel like the news that they got thrown on The Last of Us 2 multiplayer and support and shit, it's just like, this sucks. Come on.
Yeah, all that's bad.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. That's horrible. Especially in a world where it's like everyone already thinks Sony is just the least open-minded when it comes to any game. And then they're like, no, we don't like your zombie game 2. We want you to work on zombie game 1.
Yeah, that's also like, maybe they're not doing a sequel. It's like, no more, because we got that report that the staff rebelled at having to make fucking The Last of Us 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it's like, no more fucking zombies.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that's just the message they gave them, which honestly good. I'm all for Naughty Dog never touching The Last of Us or Uncharted again. But maybe Ben can try some sort of cool third-person shooter that's cool and not about a man and his motorcycle.
His
Just
MC,
screaming.
Just screaming at his radio.
I'm just imagining an Uncharted with a new protagonist that is just Deacon.
I mean, I would be down for that. That could be funny.
See, we wouldn't have to get any insufferable articles about ludonarrative dissonance because Deacon's just a psycho. Of course he's killing all these people.
Right.
Plus, obviously, the game will be satire when the major villain is a man who, quote, attended community college. That uppity bitch. That'd be really good.
Thank you, Days Gone. You will never leave. We have a Days Gone story in 2022.
We did it.
We nailed it. I don't know if we'll ever get it again, so I just wanted to soak in the Freaker Gang.
You ever think about how we've spent more time talking about Days Gone than any Microsoft game on the Xbox One?
Well, speaking of Microsoft, Halo Infinite's lead narrative designer has left 343 to join I think it was Epic Games or Riot Games?
I thought it was Riot.
Look, you wrote Epic.
Oh, okay. I think it was Riot. And
Yeah.
I had a stroke while writing the news. So some champion could say Bazinga or something. I'm really glad Halo Infinite its story that felt truly and fully complete has lost the person that would be in charge of narrative stuff.
It's so weird because it sounds like he wrote not the story, but all of the open world stuff.
Well, I'm sure because they have a studio. It's now like an MCU-esque environment at 343 because they're making all this shit at once. So I'm sure it's like the franchise Giga architect is like, okay, you need to write the story for Halo Infinite. It has to have okay, bye.
And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna write them watching all of that on a projector.
And they're like, okay, you wrote all of that. Well, we cut out a third of it. We'll use it later. A third
We
is
cut
very
out that
nice.
bit you wrote. We'll get to it eventually.
And for people who don't know, this is Battleborn, man.
Yeah.
Yes, this is in fact Battleborn, man. Which
Speaking of Riot, there was a Riot thing.
Oh no.
Riot has agreed to settle for $100 million the 2018 discrimination lawsuit. It is $80 million to the people who, were wronged, and $20 million to legal fees. They agreed to some shit, so it's like, okay, state of California, for 4 years. I think it's 4 years. You basically get to have your guys in our office watching us.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they need it.
That party will basically be in charge of Riot's HR.
good. I'm waiting for that to happen to Activision Blizzard.
And if they're like, you have to do what we say if we decide you're not doing enough. This doesn't cover the 2021 one, but I assume that it will just be settled and they'll be like, we're already doing it with this, so you just get money and that's it.
Yeah, I don't imagine they win the new one.
Yeah, they're not going to win the new one, but it's going to be like, well, we already have our monitors in there watching things, so I guess it's done with you giving money. Yeah, so Riot is walking into 2022 in a lot better position than Activision Blizzard.
They're walking into this year with an ankle bracelet.
They're walking into this year with a fucking cast around their morality. It can't move.
They have an ankle bracelet, but they also have a really good crutch called Arcane. So,
well, Activision has Call of Duty Vanguard.
Next story,
That
KZ.
shit's based on World War II. Did you know that?
Oh, thank you. Rainbow Six Extraction, originally called Rainbow Six Quarantine, will launch day one on Game Pass because that's where every online game that will bomb just lives now. Just like Outriders and Back 4 Blood. Feel also, I guess, wrote this where they're bringing Ubisoft Plus, Double Plus, Ultra, Max Applebee's to Xbox.
Okay, if you're in charge of any kind of corporate PR somehow and you listen to us, you don't get to put plus at the end of anything anymore. Like South Park took that away from you.
That's true.
Like, I'm sorry.
You're not allowed.
If you didn't get it in prior, it's over. Also, I feel like some of you should rebrand. Xbox Game Pass is collecting other companies' insane subscription services like dumb Infinity Stones, where it's like,
Well,
EA already did this.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
it's crazy.
I have to assume that Phil Spencer, because he is a human being, or at least a reasonable facsimile of one,
Go on.
is like, this subscription shit isn't gonna work if there's 4 or 5 or so. So we're just gonna cut this shit off and be like, hey, do you want some money to fold it into ours so people still think there's only one?
Yes.
Because nothing is going to kill this shit. Because imagine if they hadn't done that and Game Pass is like, you can get Game Pass, you can get EA's thing, you can get Ubisoft's thing. Like, no, it's like the consumer brain will then shut off and get none of them.
Yeah, that's what happened with like the Amazon Prime. You can subscribe to the Dish Network or whatever version. Like,
who cares about Dish Network anymore?
Yeah, there's like 100 different subscriptions you could do through Amazon Prime, and no one does.
Do you want to get stars?
Like IMDb Pro.
Yeah.
And stars.
Yeah, these are all like folded in. If it's going to be like the EA one, it's folded into Ultimate.
You know, they need to just man up and rename Rainbow Six into Rainbow Six COVID.
I agree with this.
All right, well,
Catch some eyes.
yeah, it'll get. You know what? Ubisoft's capable of doing it. They've shown that.
Actually, everybody left. Who knows? Maybe they can't even get the title screen made at this point.
Aw, damn. Well, my last bit, and I guess our last bit of news. An achievement list popped up for GoldenEye for Xbox One. This was that remake they were making for the 360 arcade that like leaked recently, but was long since canceled. It looks like it's actually gonna come out now because of them clearing things with,
or it's just an upscale of the original game.
I mean, that's basically what the remaster was.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's just like the
you
Perfect
said
Dark
remake,
remaster.
so I'm like, okay.
yeah.
Don't worry, everyone's fucked everything. Every word means every other word now.
That thing that they were making that they got stopped from doing before. People were like, oh, they went to the German or the Russian government or something to make it so that they're like, you can't sell GoldenEye. Like, you can't do that because of how, what it features, what it's depicting in that. And like a couple months ago, they got that removed from the list of banned media. And now this is popping up, which is cool. I would like to play this version.
Yeah, I'm
I would
excited.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to check this out. I thought it was so funny that GameSpot posted about this article, and they used a picture from the Wii game. It's like that's not the
Oh
game.
my
What are you guys
God.
doing?
I don't even know which one that was. Was that GoldenEye Rogue Agent?
No, it was just called GoldenEye.
Oh my God! It's
Yeah, because
no
it was
one cares about that one.
it was framed as a remake of the old game with Call of Duty controls.
Yeah.
and it was
Even
Yeah,
Rogue
it was
Agent had more
GoldenEye
sauce.
007 Reloaded.
Ugh.
Yep.
I don't even think it was called that on the Wii. I think that they ported it to other stuff and called it that.
Guys, I have some late news coming in.
Oh no!
Very important news.
What's up?
We have a new subscription service.
Oh no!
Very important to talk about. The Taco Bell Taco Lovers Pass.
Oh!
I wish I was kidding.
What do you mean?
Enjoy a taco a day for 30 days.
This is the worst one of these.
But I'll get it.
Their tacos taste like shit.
No, you won't.
Yeah, like you're not getting out to Taco Bell every day.
Yeah, no.
You don't have a car, Casey.
You would spend $10 and then just go, I don't actually want one of their tacos.
Yeah, but what if one day I want one?
How much is this pass?
I should just let it lapse forever.
I am pretty sure.
I can't simply buy a taco when I want it.
I'm pretty sure everyone. Yeah, it's $10. So it's like, congratulations, you forced me into a contract where I buy 30 of your tacos at. What is that? 30 cents each?
That's just how much they should be priced anyway.
I know.
Because they're trash.
They're literally bottom tier. Like, I don't understand the notion that I crave your tacos of all things. But yeah, that's really glad we could get a subscription service.
Did no one put in the Konami news we got today?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I forgot.
Konami to celebrate the Castlevania's 35th anniversary, I think it is.
Yes.
They released the Castlevania NFTs.
This is the first part of their NFT initiative.
Yeah. So they're just literally screen grabs from the old games they're selling as NFTs because they're sickos.
And they did this on the same fucking day they announced the limited run game shit.
Yeah. And they also put out I love the disclaimer they put on it of like, this gives you no rights to own anything, just so you know. It's like, you don't own any part of the franchise because you own this NFT. It doesn't mean anything. It's like you need to reconfirm with anyone buying an NFT that, in fact, it is worthless.
Yeah. God damn.
And when you have to attach that, I feel like they should have realized, maybe we just don't do this. But no.
Yeah, you would hope. You would hope there would be some realization.
Is there anybody at Konami that still speaks English?
Probably not, yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
a big problem.
It's like Konami is like a black box.
Yeah.
So people can call them fucking morons and criminals all day, and it will just never penetrate.
Yeah, and it's like the NFT thing is taking off so much more in Japan than it has over here because there isn't as much social media backlash, and people don't really understand it and just kind of ignore it.
Yeah, the people don't understand it part is why it continues to exist.
Yeah.
I do wonder if it's like a cultural thing where there isn't some stupid jackass with the world's ugliest icon talking about how it's the future of the entire world, so people don't have like a knee-jerk, hideous, violent reaction.
Right.
They don't have monkeys over there.
It's like without Elon Musk around, nobody gets mad at crypto.
Yeah, this thing was terrible.
Yeah.
What is wrong with them? It is what's dubbed the Konami Memorial NFT Collection. Players can pick up 14 different unique artworks from the Monster Hunter series when the auction goes live. Oh, Konami. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, basically.
And that's news.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Game of the Year. We will continue to be in the middle of Game of the Year.
Be excited.
Hey, KZ.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the next week?
Game of the year.
Oh, okay. Hey, Phil, what are you doing in the next week?
Game of the year.
And that's how you know we're real chads. We're doing Game of the Year after the year actually ends.
Whoa.
When it's stupid.
Honestly, I did my best to let every game get the best chance possible by not playing them all until the last minute, so that way they had time to patch. And yet some of them chose not to.
Yeah, we seem to be discovering a lot of things. Just don't change.
A meter went down on 2021 compared to 2020, and it was QA testing. Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or a podlord today. The executive producers for this month of GigaBoots are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Live Action Muito Real, Completely Normal Adam, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers and also these patrons. If you want to become an executive producer for an obscure but powerful YouTube channel, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.